Hi, welcome to episode 6 of Bookies. I'm Bear, and today we are reviewing The Emperor of Gladness by Ocean Vuong. When I was considering my approach for this channel, I tried to determine whether I would only review books that I could with all confidence recommend to you, or whether I would also review books that I may not. I've gone with the latter approach, primarily because I want the channel to reflect the experience of engaging with the art, the experience of reading. Not everything we're going to read is going to be remarkable. I'm frankly rather surprised to see ratings on Goodreads. Almost every novel is at least 4 stars. That just can't be. You deserve better in a book review, and my goal is to provide you with my honest take on each book I review. Unfortunately for me, The Emperor of Gladness just didn't speak to me. It didn't engage me, and I give it a 3.25 stars out of 5. This novel shines a light on the rather mundane existence of a 19-year-old Vietnamese-American immigrant. His name is Hai, and he lives in the kind of shame-faced town that pokes its head above the weeds as you pass by and pathetically tries to get your attention. There's nothing going on. It's the kind of town where the kids have nothing to do but drink beer under a bridge. The year is 2009, and Vuong begins the novel with our main character standing on a bridge contemplating a leap into the muddy waters of suicide. Fortunately, an 82-year-old Lithuanian immigrant and World War II refugee sees that Hai is about to jump and shames him into getting off the bridge and shames him into coming into her moss-laden, dark, and kind of watery home on the river. The charm in this novel really is in the relationship between Hai and Grazina, the Lithuanian immigrant. Grazina is suffering from dementia and lives alone. She invites Hai to live with her. She needs care, and he is a lost soul with no place to lay his head. The care and love that Hai gives to Grazina is charming, and it's heartfelt. Vuong really excels when he puts that relationship in the context of one of Grazina's delusions of escaping war from Lithuania. Without judgment, Hai engages in the delusion, becoming Sergeant Pepper. He does this to engage with Grazina. He does this because he's kind and he's good. Unfortunately, the novel doesn't reach any higher. It's well written and covers many topics, including homosexual yearnings, drug addiction, and the immigrant experience. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with the novel being a character study. Some of the best art is character study. However, at some point, the reader should expect something interesting or compelling to occur. And this novel just meanders around aimlessly. And you know the feeling. You've probably read a novel like this. You're a quarter way through the novel and think to yourself, well, nothing's really happened yet, and I hope that changes. Then you find yourself asking the same question at 50% through the novel, at 75%. And then right about 90%, you come to the realization that nothing is going to happen. At some point during this process, somebody's going to ask you, how's the book? And you have to report out the disappointing news, but also feel compelled to offer some kind of aspirational hopes for improvement. That was my experience with this novel. Listen, Vuong's strength is his writing style. His strength is the humanization of the diverse characters that appear in the novel. And to prove to you that I'm not totally a heartless bastard when reviewing this book, I'd like to recite a little of the prose from the novel to you. Grazina, using a nickname that she gave to Hai, says, "Lavas, I'm scared to die. I want to live a little more, just a few more years if God wills it. I know it will be a good rest when we go, but oh, to taste freshly brewed tea with a spot of cream. I still want that, especially when it's cold outside." Now, prose like that really hooks me. However, to excel beyond the average or the mediocre, that just isn't enough. The author fails to exercise his strength with the language. There has to be a better approach of highlighting these skills than a so-called day in the life of storytelling. Because of the overarching themes of drug addiction, helplessness, and disappointment presented here, Vuong really does set a compelling mood. And these themes provide many jumping off points for advancing the story forward in a compelling way. If you've read Demon Copperhead, you know that feeling. The two novels are remarkably similar in theme and character development. However, Demon Copperhead is active. The Emperor of Gladness is passive. Demon Copperhead has direction and purpose. The Emperor of Gladness just wanders without direction. It's kind of like a puppy slowly nosing its way from trash heap to trash heap in an alley. At some point, I'm going to need that puppy to find a magic toy, speak perfect English, get menaced by a French detective, or bite a mailman. It has to do something. My point is that something has to happen with those beautifully written characters. And so, despite the beautiful prose and the obvious talent of the author, this book just wasn't for me. Not once during the 3 days that it took for me to read it was I excited to get back to reading the book. And that's what I look for in a book. Is there something in that R that's a little bit tasty? Something compelling me to set aside other distractions in order to get a better look, to engage with the story and advance it. That just didn't happen here. That being said, if you can get this novel on a library loan or you can get it at a reasonable price, go ahead and read it. The author certainly can paint a picture with prose. There's pathos, emotion, and feeling. I just needed to have some forward direction. And with that, that concludes this Bookies review of The Emperor of Gladness. Please remember to like and subscribe. I just read that reading is on the decline, and if true, that just encourages me even more to do whatever I can to get people excited about reading again. Your simple support with a like and subscribe helps to make that happen. Have a great day, and God bless.